I thought today I'll keep it inside our company and talk about our lovely Josie, who's part of our team in Durban. So Josie, welcome and thank you for making time out of your busy schedule and talking to me for a few minutes.
Thanks, Rick. Anytime.
So Josie, I'm going to jump right into it, and I actually just want to know if you can tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Cool. So I grew up on a farm in a place called Wartburg, which not many people have heard of. It's a beautiful little German settlement, actually. It's kind of 45 minutes outside of Pietermaritzburg, towards the Valley of the Thousand Hills. And my dad is I think a fourth generation on that farm. There's a funny story about his great-great-great-grandfather who was drinking away the family profits in Norfolk in England. And so he was sent on a ship with a bag of coins to Africa to go and make it work. And he drank his way all the way through from the Cape, and he ended up with what he had left, and he bought this estate in Wartburg.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's apparently the story. And yeah, my dad's a timber farmer. He's actually got his degree, BSc in timber. I grew up with a lovely childhood, really idyllic, very privileged. Rode horses every day before school. Grew up with a lot of cousins on the same farm, so we were a little team of kids all together. An amazing mother and dad. I have an older brother and a younger sister. Went to really good schools and had an amazing upbringing.
So I met you, well, I actually started knowing of you when Carl asked me to organize a lunch for your wedding, actually, a couple of years back. I think it's about 6 years ago.
Yes, 6 years ago, exactly.
And then I started working with you when CN&CO started about 5 years ago. How have your life changed in 5 years?
We've been busy.
Yeah.
That lunch actually is legendary. The guys who own that restaurant are friends of ours, and they still talk about that lunch, because it was like, about 35 people for lunch, and it ended up being about 86 people for lunch. They were pulling in chairs from the other restaurants. They said it was like one of the biggest turnovers they've ever had in a day, and it was just the biggest party. So thank you for organizing that. I had more fun there than I had at my wedding, so thank you. Sheepers, my life has completely changed. We got married. 3 months later, we found out we were pregnant with Grace. We were living in Durban. We moved to Joburg. We lived there for 9 months. Then we moved back to Durban when Simon got offered a more serious role at his dad's brokerage. Since then, we've had another 2 children. So I have 3 kids, and our latest addition is Dennis. Dennis the Menace is a little 10-week-old golden retriever that chews everything. We've moved homes 8 times in 5 years. We've moved now, settled in Ballito, in a home we love, and a little community in Salt Rock that we're so happy, and we are not moving again. But our life certainly changed a lot.
A day in the life of the Dougalls. From that first alarm, what's the routine?
I must actually send you a video that I took yesterday morning, or the night morning before, which was my bed at 5:30 in the morning, and it was crazy. I was just like, how is this possible? We had 3 kids, all with this singing, dancing toy that I got Harry for his birthday, and it sings in Dutch if you flick the switch the other way. So there was Dutch nursery rhymes blaring. The puppy was jumping up and down barking, and I was sort of trying to catch Harry from falling off the edge of the bed. So that's the typical morning. So it starts off a bit chaotic, but we've got lovely live-in woman, Gugu, who is part of our family, and she just brings the sense of calm and tranquility to my life. She generally will take the kids from 6:30. We put the TV on, and we give them breakfast. I go for a run. Simon does his exercise, and then we generally will drop Grace. I'll drop Grace at school, and then I come back and lock myself upstairs in my room, which is where I work. What I had planned to be my office is now Harry's room. And then I work for as much as I can. I work as hard and as fast as I can. Sometimes if I hear Frankie having a moment and a cry downstairs, I'll go downstairs and give her a love for 10 or 20 minutes, and then at 10 to 12 I leave to fetch Grace from school, come back, feed them lunch, settle them, play with them for a bit, and then sort of 1:30 until 3 I try and work again, and then from 3 till 5 I'm with the kids. Before COVID we would have probably gone and done something, but now we walk to the park, or we walk to the dam and we throw stones in the dam, or we go riding on our bikes. I get home anywhere between 6 and 7. We bath the kids, feed the kids, put them to bed, and then we sometimes I cook him dinner, sometimes he gets muesli and some cereal and some milk. Sometimes he cooks me dinner, and then we have a glass of wine and chat, and we're generally exhausted and in bed by 8:30. That's when things are working well. That's when no one's sick and the nanny's here and she's not on leave, and that's when life's working well. That's the day.
How did you become involved in marketing, and where did the love for that start, and what is kind of your journey up until now?
Rick, I guess marketing kind of happened to me, and I guess it started when I dropped out of university. I was studying something that I didn't really know that I wanted to study. I was studying psychology and a bit of English and a bit of this and that, and funds were very tight, and I just thought, why am I doing this when I don't know that this degree is ultimately going to set me on the right path? So I left Stellenbosch and I literally went to my friend Sarah's flat, and she dropped me off at the top of Kloof Street, and she said, I'll pick you up at the bottom. And I walked all the way down Kloof Street in Cape Town, and I knocked on restaurant doors, and I was just looking for a job. And the second door I knocked on, this guy, he was very flamboyant and awesome. He offered me a job at this Danubi's, which was a blues and jazz bar. And he basically said, can you work? I said, yeah. And he says, can you work now? So I said, right now. He said, yeah, right now, here's an apron. So I said, okay, cool. And I literally started. He had to go back to, he was a Danish man, and he had to go back to Denmark. And so I ran the restaurant for him for, a year, maybe 2 years, and taught me amazing people skills. And I was interacting with so many different types of people. I met a lady there she offered me a job. So I thought, I can't manage a restaurant forever. So I started working at an advertising agency, and that really is how my journey began. Here comes Harry, hello boy, was marketing alcohol brands for Brand House Beverages. And then I moved to the UK. Harry likes to press the buttons. I hope he doesn't ruin this interview. And I ended up in London. And then from there, Carl phoned me and... And then, okay, I'm gonna put him down. Googs, will you come and get Harry? So anyway, ended up in London working for Bacardi Rum and working for Ray-Ban sunglasses and doing such awesome stuff. I went back of stage with all the major singers and all the big bands and all the festivals. I had like the most incredible time. And then Carl convinced me to come back to South Africa and start working in insurance, and yeah, so my journey went on, but it was not planned. I never studied it, but I've absolutely loved it, and it really suits my personality and it suits my skill set, and I think it obviously was meant to be.
Josie, and then lastly, I just want to know if there's a message you have for our fellow South Africans in this time we live in right now that's so crazy.
Gosh, Rick, it's so difficult because, I'll go through 3 or 4 days where I feel really positive and really inspired and really like this lockdown and this time has given me a new perspective on my life. Definitely new set of what I find important and what I want. In February, I was looking so forward to an overseas holiday with Simon and just getting away from the kids and being able to be out there in the streets of London and, having a great time at a cocktail bar. Now I would sacrifice 4 years of that to be able to have a tiny little weekend getaway 2 hours away from home with, a little trout fishing dam nearby or a river where my kids and us can spend quality family time together. So I think I've really adapted and learned the value of living each moment and living for today and not constantly trying to obtain the next thing, the next up-in car, the next, I'd rather have different headboard, fabric on my headboard. I want different this. Those sort of things have become insignificant for me, and I really just want a quality of life for my family. And I guess for a message from me, what I find really important is just to try and stay positive. Cyril Ramaphosa didn't bring this virus to us. It's not his fault. Yes, the government could be doing better. They could be doing things differently, but you can't judge until you're in their shoes. For me, it's just really about trying to support the right initiatives and trying to be positive about the future and just trying to be a proponent of the right kind of change instead of being somebody who sits on social media and slashes everyone. It does nothing. That's really for me what I've gained over the last few months.
Well, Josie, thank you very, very much for making time out of your busy day to speak to me. I appreciate it, and stay healthy, stay strong that side.
Cool, Rick. Thanks so much. Enjoy your time at home.
You too. Have a lovely one. Say hi to everyone.
Okay, bye.